made it. What's up, guys? Mark Galloway here. We are here at Fonda Speedway in Fonda, New York, upstate. This is the only time I'm working for Versus Monster Trucks this year. Versus Monster Trucks Tour. I mean, obviously, say whatever you want about them, whether it fits. I won't go into that much, but it hasn't done much shows this year. I mean, not much shows could be booked, and there was some I couldn't go to. They did had Ransomville and a few others. I think a 2 or 3, but I had other shows planned, but that was a gist. So this is the only show that I could make time for. And also, before I came over here, I looked up the history of Fonda Speedway. This is one of the few original NASCAR tracks that hosted NASCAR, like when NASCAR raced on the dirt track right here. Richard Petty was one of the few people who won races on this course, and this was one of the few courses. And even back in the original days of NASCAR, on original dirt tracks like this, there was very dangerous crashes that happened, like through that fence right over there, that wooden fence. I don't know if you see it right on the horizon. That's where I think one of the cars crashed right through it, or one of the tires went over it. Actually, I think it was before it was built, but there was I could be wrong about it. I have to look it up again. There was a crash that happened where either a race car drove right out right beyond the track onto the street, or a tire came right off in the crash and then just went on the street. I could be wrong about how that occurred, but there was a crash that happened right here that was very bad. But that's that. But yeah, I'm on one of the most historic. Okay, obviously this track as far as standards go, I don't know. I don't think it actually met the high expectation of the most legendary track of all time. But this is definitely one of the tracks that helped originate NASCAR. But yeah, we're here and monster trucks are here. I think this is the first time that monster trucks are competing on this track. And also, from what I see, we have a van stack, we have a middle car stack. From what I see, it is supposed to have like a Chicago style racing course. Like, it goes over that white car right over there, and then they do a tight turn to go over that other car. So it's going to be a tough one. And there's also there's going to be that might not look like one in the distance, but there's supposed to be a backflip attempt off of that concrete barrier. So I'm not going to say I have so much hype expectations for the show, but I do hope that it is a fun one. And Stephen Thompson is here, so I'll be able to work with him again. And props to him for this year for giving me chances to work on his truck every chance I got. So yeah, I think there's also supposed to be I know that Joe Fly is here. I think Loud and Dirty is supposed to be here. I'm forgetting a few other things. But yeah, I just got to get set up, and I'll meet you guys when I can. I don't know if you can tell the difference. So you see how more old school that this construction equipment, how this forklift looks like compared to this Caterpillar right here. I suppose that this one's supposed to help in case a truck rolls over, but I know that this one's supposed to work with the dirt. I think this one right here, I'm standing on the winner circle, but I know that the winner stage is right up there, the one I pointed to earlier. I got the belt with you. Just lift up over here.
Steve, I have a pallet jack.
Yeah, he has one. Got it.
Mine's a pallet jack.
Okay.
use it. I just don't know. You have to lift it up
gotta-
to get on it.
We're gonna try it with I got a little floor jack right now.
Just go into that section.
Yeah, just move it over
I think
because
so. You just
I'm
couldn't get
guessing
in.
his trailer's a little smaller than mine.
Just a little.
Yeah. I was like, I can get it to where I want it, but I can't push it
Put
back.
the nose in, yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
These grandstands, man, hurting my hands.
You're right over that.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Teamwork.
We just had hustle, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. How's it going, man?
All right.
So up there, I got the approval from Steve. I might have to double check with the people who work here, but I'm hoping that I can film the show from the top deck, from right up there. And also, how convenient is this? If you want to, like, oh well, unfortunately on one end, this is just where you have to get where you just get beer. But if you were to get come down from the grandstands, walk right down here, right here, you can get your food and such. But you know, like I said, this is just beer and all that. And the train's coming by. Oh, it's from the other side over there. I can't even see it. But oh, there it is. I caught it a little too late. But yeah, that is CSX. Oh, and how cool is this? You have a stripped, retired sprint car in half, split in half, and you have it on display here, static display here on the side of the grandstands. How pretty neat is that? Even as a suspension. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You even have a retired harness right over there, a harness racing thing. Can't squeeze through, I know. Getting the merchandise truck all set up. You can see how old school these benches look. They look pretty nice. They would look more comfortable to sit on than those modern metal bleachers, you know. And this is where you would watch all the sprint cars coming all around the track. At least it's still open for that. Wow. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Wow. You doing cute. You're cute. You're so pretty. I just missed it. Little doggy was just jumping on that car, and before he jumped down, that dog has guts. So I was just told that the tower's open, so we're gonna look at that in a little bit. This car is like perfectly intact for now. But from what I see, this car was resting in a junkyard. Got a hitch. Can I kick it open? Okay, yeah, but we're just gonna leave it there. But you see right here, cosmetically, it's mostly perfectly intact. Though it's not gonna last much longer. Trucks hit it from the back, it's done. You look almost look right in here. All that stuff inside of the car. And the door's ripped off of here. You can almost like go in if you want. But not safe. This dog wants to play around, have a little fun.
Burger the Road Dog doesn't have his shirt on yet.
He doesn't.
No.
Okay. Okay, they just told me the tower's now open. Let's see if we can now get a sneak peek. Right here. Okay, this is where the walkies, announcers will do all their work. It's a nice view from in here. Nice view, of course. You can see that's the winner's circle right there. And that right there is the winner's stage. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but there was a McDonald's sign from up in the horizon. This is going to be a little dangerous to climb up. Oi. Thankfully, though, it's all screwed in. We're going to... Oi, oi. Open? Yeah, oh. Okay, I got to put my camera on top of this. It wouldn't kill just to put some hinges in here. We're not. All right. So here's where we're at. The top wooden balcony. Oh boy. This is a pretty steep view. Pretty good view if I do say so myself. So we have, this is the parking area where all the cars are gonna come in and maybe park in this grassy area. And this is the track, so to speak. You can see the whole entire race course. This is where all the TV crews come in, or the live stream people come in just to film the, the entire race. I'm debating a little bit if I want to film from this location. I did say I want to film from up here. I think I could still film from maybe the spare room, like right in here. I could still do that, but the view would be a little bit obscure. But I do want to stay out of the way of racing fans. So, I mean, if I'm filming from up here, it would be more like looking down. So, no, maybe not from up here. Maybe we'll see if we can just film from in here. Okay, I gotta go back down. Well, I just came up there and up there from down there. These guys feel unsafe doing this, understandably so, but like they're cowardly to even go all the way up there. Yeah, he's shaking. He made it though. So taking a look, okay, so the reason why I might not be filming from the rooftop, it's not because, of the way, it's not so much of, getting up this ladder and opening that door. It's more so like how it's kind of like more like looking down and not getting exactly the best view of, the sky wheelies, all that stuff. It would just look a little odd. Watching from here though, it is definitely better, and if I film from right here, I can definitely, okay, I think just with the sun at this angle, it's a little tough, to see down there. I'm sure that like when the sun goes, either if it goes that way, down that way, or maybe over here, maybe the view will get a little better. But I know from filming from in here, I know it'll be better because I can get a view of the sky wheelie right here. Actually, I won't film from a tripod. I'll just go back and forth, kind of like what I'm doing with this camera. And then like, yeah, I could probably just get the show from over there. Like, if I'm going to film monster trucks doing sky wheelies, so, like, if they go over to this car, I can, film from over here. And actually, from racing perspective, I can stand, like, right around here, right where this, computer is. Actually, might... Is it connected to anything? It might be. I'm going to try to see. That's as far as I can probably move it. But, I could probably... get the view from this car and then a turn right here. This view is not so bad either.
I ask each of you guys to grab one of these three sides and we're going to pull it million hours before showtime, but let's take a look. How badly does this tent get in the way of sight? I don't really care, because my tent was there first.
Even though, on an unfortunate note, that we can't, you know, order foods from, like, you know, in here. We have burgers and sausages cooking up on the grill right now, but it's more like for the people working here right now. We have, okay, we have the metal bleachers. Metal bleachers right here in the corners. We're getting banners. All zip tied up against the fence. Being that this is the league's purpose. Yeah, we have grills and burgers and sausages. I don't know if I was getting a good view of the plane. We have a plane circling the speedway. Of course, it's sun. Last banner.
Lower your end a little bit more.
So thankfully I got here when I did. So Steven is awake now. He's about to unload hurricane force. So I'm definitely gonna help assemble the truck and put the fuel in after that. And then after that, everything's just gonna go on from there the day on. Once the show is over, that's where it's gonna get a little tough, because on one end I do gotta help disassemble the facility on one end, and I'm not taking the speedway apart. It's more like take the banners down, put everything back into the trailer, it also comes tight if I'm going to be able to help Steve, you know, disassemble the truck to load it back in. So it's gonna be a little tight, but let's see if we can get some work done. Got my gloves and everything ready. Muddy Girl is also in the trailer, but apparently I think I already said, but they're only saying we'll do 5 trucks. Like I said, personally, if it was me, I would have accepted one more.
At Sierra, I discovered great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality bikes. It's might lead to another discovery. Getting back on the saddle isn't always comfortable. Good news is Sierra has massage guns. And shave flares, too. Sierra top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Are you the kind of person who wants things like you can get a domain from Squarespace, not just a website? Well, now you are that person, because now you definitely know you can get a domain from Squarespace. Something like whisperingroom.com for your silent retreat. Or whispering.
I'm gonna cut you guys off for a few minutes, so we're just gonna unload a little bit of parts first, and I'll turn you guys back on when we unload the tires. I'm gonna cut you guys off for a few minutes, so we're just gonna unload a little bit of parts first, and I'll turn you guys back on when we unload the tires. Quick update, so Loud and Dirty came with Rat Nasty, so it's Rat Nasty, Loud and Dirty, Crustacean, Lumberjack, Joe Fly, and Hurricane Force. Okay, so that does total up to 6 either way. Yeah, it's no wonder why they decided to let Muddy Girls, sit out, a little overdone with them.
Pump tires low on air. That's where we take a break on the lift. So like, so success on one end that I was able to get this tire lined up so I can, lift the jack and make sure like it's all aligned. So this one's basically up there the top parts you might not be able to see, but top ones are basically not pushing all the way in on the lug nuts. So, but right now we're gonna leave this one and we're gonna take care of the next one. this is our backflip ramp all assembled. So this is exactly what it looks like. Truck is gonna go up these railings right up here, hit these rubber tires, and it's gonna help rebound and rotate it. So that looks pretty nice now. So hopefully the backflip goes just as planned. Chances are it might turn around on it, but that's the backflip ramp.
I'm glad I got an Amtrak on camera.
Finally having everyone all set up. So we have Rat Nasty, we have Joe Fox.
The show going on. We have a Jeepers challenge going on right behind me outside of the out of the production box. So the lighting is pretty bad. So the racing style, it wasn't Chicago style as I anticipated. It's actually a straight line race over the jump. You just go over. Well, actually, I could have filmed racing with this camera if I could have. Oh man, I didn't even realize. I don't know. I guess I just thought like they were gonna still do Chicago style. It was a straight line, so they just go over these jumps, and then they just go over that line. Personally, though, I wish they would have just like maybe squished them in a little bit more. I can somewhat understand why they didn't do the Chicago style, because they're right like close to these walls right there, and they didn't want to like say that like once they go through the turn and then they mishap the jump and then they go over these walls right here and scrape against it. They didn't want to take the chance. So yeah, I mean, as good as like this handheld camera is, it didn't do well with filming the racing. It did film like the trucks just crossing the finish line and such, but man, if I could have used this camera just so I can would have gotten a good jump. But well, yeah, that was a mishap. Whoa. this lumberjack after it's run. Lost the grill. It's gonna need a new hood. And Joe Fly killed it with a backflip. And Rat Nasty unfortunately destroyed something and lost and did not freestyle very long until after only about 2 hits. We're now just bringing our equipment back to the car and we're gonna see where we go from here. Look at all the fiberglass parts that we have over here in the pit area. I think this must be from this is from Joe Fly's truck. We have Jeeps, jacked up Jeeps, stacked up on the backflip ramp.
Want to try it? Just taking a picture.
Hold still, Bob. All right. I want to take a picture off and retire. Get up here.
Look this way too, fucker.
What's that?
Amazing.
It's just little clamps.
I'll put this one in last. Yeah, finish this one.
I hope the camera caught it. I think there was some spark. I think there was some sparks coming up from that jack just now.
finish up this one and then we'll go ahead and take the other lugs off and we'll take both tires off.
gonna conclude our night here in Fonda, and pretty good day. It was a good day. It was a pretty nice show. I mean, wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty nice show for what it was. And but other than that, everything went well as it could. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna conclude it here. But be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to see more of my adventures on a daily basis, or maybe not on a daily basis, but every now and then. But anyways, guys, take care, and thank you so much for watching. Mark Galloway signing out.